Hey y'all, my name is Mare. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing my April TBR game where I let a random letter generator pick the books that I'll be reading this month. So if you're new to my channel, I just want to ask, if you haven't already subscribed, definitely consider doing so down below. I post a lot of book-related content, such as reading vlogs and wrap-ups and creative experiments that you will not want to miss. I'll also go ahead and link a playlist down below of all my previous TBR games if you're interested in checking that out. So let's just kick off with the rules of the game, and I'll be super brief with this, but essentially we're going to be spinning a wheel 5 times today, and on that wheel there are different letters of the alphabet. Essentially, I'm going to be picking books that correspond to the letter that is chosen by the wheel. So the words in the title of the book or the author's name have to start with the chosen letter. I also have one space on the wheel that is considered challenge words, so that is super difficult letters like Q, U, V. We don't want to get those letters, but I have a bad feeling today that we might, so let's hope that we walk away unscathed by the spinner wheel, but I highly doubt that's going to happen because last month went really well for me and I just don't foresee it happening again. But basically, we're going to add a spin to the wheel if I choose to forego a prompt. So if I spin the wheel and I get a letter and I don't have a book that I want to fulfill to it, I'm going to be adding an additional book to my TBR. I'm also going to be adding 2 additional books to my TBR if for some reason I get the challenge spot and I choose not to fulfill it. I can also add a book to my TBR if I did not complete the previous month's TBR, and I will also be deducting a spin if I get alliteration. So that means that 2 of the words in the title or the author's last name included have the chosen letter by the wheel. So quickly recapping last month, the spinner wheel chose for me Leave the World Behind, 6 of Crows, Crooked Kingdom, and Lore, and I did actually read all 4 of those. However, we had 5 spins last month and I did not read my 5th book, which was A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. So unfortunately, I will have to add a spin today and we're going to be starting off with 6 spins. If you're interested in hearing any of my thoughts on the books that I just talked about, I will be posting my March wrap up very soon, so stay tuned for that. All right, y'all, I think we are ready to go. So let's just start spinning the wheel. I am terrified for this, but we're gonna do it. Okay, spin number 1. Okay, so the letter that was chosen for me was N, and I think that I can make this work. 1 second. So for the letter N, I'm going to be reading A Torch Against the Night by Salva Tahir, and this is the 2nd book in the Ember and the Ashes series, and I need to do a better job of continuing and finishing series, so let's put our best foot forward and attempt to do that this month. So this is a Roman-inspired YA fantasy series that I just really loved the first book in, and I'm planning on buddy reading this with my good friend Emma from Emmy is Reading and maybe Nicole from Nicole Reads. So I'm super excited to be reading this month. All right, let's do the next spin. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm sorry, I'll leave. C. Oh, perfect. I know what I'm going to be reading for this one. So for the letter C, I'm going to be reading The Gilded Wolves by Roshoni Chokshi, and this is a YA fantasy series start. I might be continuing on with some series, but I'm going to be starting some more in classic Mare fashion. So The Gilded Wolves is a book that follows a heist mission. I believe it's historical fantasy, and I'm just really excited. I've heard great things about this, and I trust a lot of people's opinions on this, and I really think that this could be 5 stars, so I'm definitely excited to dive into this one. I'm going to be reading this with my community Discord server, which is always linked down below if you're interested in buddy reading it with us. Anyone in the book community is more than welcome to join us. All right, time for spin number 3. Okay, the letter F. I genuinely don't know what to do with this. F. What books do I have that start with F? I got F last month too, and that didn't work out well for me. All right, gang, I'll be reading A Court of Silver Flames. I'll go ahead and finish it because I'm like 300 pages into it, and I just couldn't be bothered to continue it because it's super long and I was getting kind of bored, and I was just really sucked into the hype. But this is the 4th book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series that follows Nesta, and I'm very excited to finally finish this because honestly, I'm tired of having it on my currently reading shelf, so I'm glad that this is giving me an excuse to read it. But oh my god, it's so big. Like, this is gonna take me so long to get through, and I wasn't anticipating reading this book this month, so I'm not super happy about this, but it is what it is. so we got the letter E. What do I do with E? I had a bad feeling about today's TBR game, and I should have known that this was not going to go well for me. Okay, I think I have a solution. I think so. So I'm going to be reading Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire, and it's really tiny, so I think that this definitely makes up for me having to put a quart of silver flames on my monthly TBR. But Every Heart a Doorway, I actually don't know too much about. I believe it's about children who go into other worlds and something like that. But I know that Seanan McGuire also wrote Middle Game, and a lot of people really seem to adore this series. I personally really loved Middle Game, so I'm excited to pick up another book by this author. But I wasn't exactly sure I wanted to read this month. I have a video concept that I am trying to make this work for, but I had a lot of different books to pick from, and I wasn't sure I wanted it to be this one. But we're gonna make it work because we need to pick a book for the letter E. So this is going to be my fourth choice. Time for spin number 5. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna get a challenge letter. It was literally so close to picking it. I got so scared. Let's see what I can do with A, which I'm not even sure I have a book for that either. Oh, I'm so dumb. I can read We Are Okay by Nina LaCour, which is another short book, which I love, and I am planning to read this for a video, so I'm super excited that I'm able to fit this into my spinner wheel game. I don't know what this is about either. So it looks like it's a young adult contemporary book about a girl who leaves her life behind, and she doesn't talk to anyone, even her best friend, but then they sort of rekindle their friendship, and it's an exploration of grief. I am excited to read this because I've been wanting to read Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour, and I've never actually read a book by this author, so I'm excited to dive into We Are Okay. Time for hopefully my last spin. Let's do this thing. Jeez. Why? Of course I already used The Gilded Wolves. Okay. I have a few options for this actually. So I could read The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness, which I've been super interested in, but I would just be reading that for fun, and I have a lot of video plans this month that I need to make sure that I read books for. So I'm gonna say that I'm going to be reading Honey Girl. I might regret that later. I'm probably going to regret that later because I'm debating picking Honey Girl or another book for that TBR, and I already have a book for that TBR that I didn't want to pick with Every Heart a Doorway, not because I don't want to read it, but just because I wasn't sure yet what I wanted to read. But the spinner wheel is deciding for me, so I guess I'll be reading Honey Girl, which I believe is a sapphic adult romance, and I've heard great things about it. Everyone says it's really cute, and I've been dying to read it, and the cover is gorgeous, so I am excited that I'll be reading it. I just didn't plan to read it this month. So just to recap what the spinner wheel chose for me this month, I did get A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, We Are Okay by Nina LaCour, Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire, A Quart of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, The Gilded Wolves by Roshoni Chokshi, and Honey Girl. Was that 5? That was 6 books, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, that's a lot of books. That's a lot. Hopefully I am successful and I can actually complete all of these books by next month, because if I don't, then I'm going to have to add another spin to my game, which I do not want to do because 6 books is already looking pretty ambitious when I think about all the other reading plans that I have for this month. I don't really have any other notable books that I want to mention for my monthly TBR, but I do want to quickly mention that I will be attempting to read King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. And notice I said attempting because I did not like Crooked Kingdom very much, and I've been told that I'm not going to like King of Scars very much, but this follows one of the characters from the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I don't know much about it beyond that, and I don't want to go into it because I'm worried it might spoil Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows if you haven't read those, but I am going to be reading this for the Grishaverse read-along, which the information for will be linked down below. We just have King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, which I am going to not put on my April TBR because I'm worried that I'm not going to like King of Scars and I'm going to DNF it, so I don't want to put the sequel to the book on this list, but I will be attempting to read King of Scars and maybe Rule of Wolves when it comes out. One last book that I want to quickly mention is The Last Magician. I really want to get a reread of this series in before The Serpent's Curse comes out this month because that is one of my most anticipated releases, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to reread The Last Magician and The Devil's Thief by then, but I really want to, so hopefully I can squeeze this on my TBR for the month. Those are all the books on my April TBR that I have for you guys today. It's definitely a shorter and less ambitious TBR than usual, but I have a a lot of secret projects behind the scenes going on that I don't want to spoil for you guys, and I also just don't want to overcommit myself. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like always, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. It would really support me and my channel. I also have all my social medias linked down below, as well as ways that you can support my channel. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!